Bottom line is, if the entire United States of America, every single person was actually an outdoorsman, we would probably be a much more united nation, for sure.
So Butch, if you could just please introduce yourself. Think of all the titles and accolades you've had in your life, and if you could, put them in order for me as far as order of importance to you.
Yeah, that's a lot to unwind.
You know, his love for the outdoors is just unimaginable. That's the most important thing to him. I think a lot of the way I connected with my son is through his hunting. It's all he cared about was hunting and fishing and, you know, serving his country in the military.
All of my childhood memories with my dad are outdoors, whether that be fishing, hunting, camping, hiking, rodeo in itself.
Every weekend was camping, fishing, hunting. He raised us to be pretty ruthless. Those times in my life were probably some of the best times. I hope I'll be able to give my children the same experiences.
He was so obsessed. My dad actually pulled me aside and he's like, Nikki, he's like, I feel like he might idolize the outdoor space just a little too much. He was a little worried for me, but obviously it worked out.
I'm Butch Whiting, and I'm a conservationist. When I was a child, I grew up in a family that the center of activity was mule deer hunting. And you know, every year it was a sacred time and it brought the entire family together. It was like a giant family reunion. I think that the reason why I'm so passionate about mule deer hunting is because I was immersed into it at such a young age, and it was the only fun thing we really did. I looked forward to every year was hunting season, and specifically mule deer hunting season. And if my grandfather were alive today and got to see some of the bucks that I've been blessed to harvest, he would shit down both legs, I think. Truth be told, I think that it was just the culture of mule deer hunting I was born into it. As an owner of a hunting company, it's accelerated my passion for conservation. In general, the mission stays the same, and that's to protect the wildlife, to protect the landscapes, and it's to ensure that this legacy that's in place is protected for generations to come. My nephew, I took him on his first elk hunt here a couple years ago. I shit you not, I've been on hunts where big bulls are killed, and the level of excitement on this cow elk, it might as well have been a 400-inch bull. That is what's so awesome about introducing young generation into the sport of hunting that is a part of conservation. When you're deployed and you're in combat and you do have downtime, my wife would send me sagebrush and would remind me of home. That's kind of what the genesis was to start Kryptek, was just a burning passion for the outdoors and a burning passion for conservation and a burning passion to be entrenched in that. Now it's time to return the favor to friends and definitely to my family and children, to introduce and explain to those that might not necessarily understand why we hunt, that it's much, much more than just pulling the trigger or taking an animal's life. The most important habitat that we have, that is also, in my opinion, the healthiest habitat, is actually the community. That's what makes this so damn much fun. It's been a blessing, really, to be able to be involved with those that are ensuring conservation is in place. It's what it's all about, and it's the most valuable aspect that I personally hold within the Kryptek brand, is this burning passion and love for the outdoors and the community that is around it. Kryptek has provided a lens into conservation that I wouldn't have had without it. You know, the exposure to truly starting to understand all the different entities that are involved in conservation. It's one thing to say, well, I want my grandchildren to be able to do the same thing that I did growing up. It's another thing to actually understand what it takes to protect that. If I had one word of advice for somebody that may be watching this, is to really start to try to lean into not just the idea of conservation, but the community of conservation. What is that? What does that even mean? Who's all involved? In my mind, selfless service is you're protecting your way of life, your culture. It's important to protect what we have here in North America and the United States, and quite frankly, the ability to go hunt and the protection around the animals and the landscapes is an extremely valuable part of being the United States of America.